We are live now. Yay! So, selamat petang.
Mabuhay! I'm Apple Allison from the Philippines. Mabuhay!
Xin chào, I'm Tong. I'm
Tong,
came from
okay,
Vietnam.
nice meeting you, Tong. So, Irina here. So, today we have our our special guest speaker, yeah, which is come from Vietnam. Yeah. Okay.
Ciao, Vietnam!
Xin chào, I miss pho. Okay, I want to eat pho.
Oh,
So today, basically, Asia anything today. I think we're going to into a very interesting topic, and I think this message is very purposeful as well, which is opportunities are everywhere. So when we talk about opportunities are everywhere, so we might be thinking on like what? Can you associate to anything?
Opportunities are everywhere. For me, it's all about possibilities.
So all the possibilities, right?
In different fields, like not only in tourism, but maybe now we can look at different sector in our society.
Yes. Okay. Then what about Ton? Then when you look at these opportunities are everywhere, what's coming to your mind? What's coming to your mind then? Opportunities are everywhere. So I think I have to introduce a little bit about Ton background, right? Ton is actually come from the central of Vietnam. And when my first strong impression of the Vietnam Old Town, okay, in the Vietnam Old City, which is my understanding was your last kingdom, even your last emperor was living there. So Ton actually came from Hue. Am I right? Ton, am I right that you come from Hue,
yeah,
right? Yes. And then I was introduced about the river. So if you like some historical site, historical city, don't miss Hue. I know everybody will go to Hue An as a UNESCO city. Hue, to be honest, I love Hue because it just simply gives me the living. It's like a very living heritage city. Just like where I come from, Kuala Lumpur, although it's a capital modernization, but we still have a living heritage now. And same as Apple, Philippines.
So, of course, in the Philippines, we have modern cities, but we have also the rural areas, the old towns. And this is basically like living with the modern times, sharing with our heritage, and looking at opportunities everywhere.
Yes, opportunity everywhere. And today, I think we're going into this one of the topic, which is many people always think this is quite serious, right? I don't know. So, but I like to make it is like I love spiritual. Because every country I visit, I always do spiritual experience. Because to me, spiritual experience is so interesting. You're going to meet all kinds of talented people. So when we talk about opportunities are everywhere, I think spiritual is one of the best topic to describe about the local culture. And we came to appreciate not just only the religion's practice from the festival perspective point of view, and you're going to enjoy lots of arts. Yeah. So we're going to talk more each individually, and hopefully you will, enjoy this session. Yeah. So allow me Malaysia to start first. Okay.
So we're looking forward for Malaysia, and then I'm also looking forward hearing more stories from Vietnam. But for now, I'll give it to Lisa. Tell us about your experiences, and finding opportunities are everywhere.
Yep, sure. Okay, so Malaysia today, I'm going to start a very simple, which is the paper cutting. Okay, so you must be wondering all this paper cutting, what is the purpose, right? So we have in our old town in Kuala Lumpur, we have a very old temple, the oldest Chinese temple. although we like to associate as a Taoism practice. So in these Taoism practices, when we go into the temple, not necessary that we just pray with the incense, but people do enjoy today even the younger generation, or we also encouraging people come to do some ceremony experiences. So this is actually about the karma. So in order for us to build a good karma, and we're trying to get rid of all the bad karma. So in this paper cutting is also a symbolic as an offering. So for this, the birdie, why we have the birdie? Because it's associated to, because birdie is when the sound bird is like means it's like usually symbolize of people like to gossip. So when people gossip more about you, doesn't means good things, right? And why is it just finger? So this is actually maybe look to you doesn't interpret as a finger, yeah. But this paper cutting is actually came from a very old lady. Currently, she is like about 70 plus years old, and with her this initiative and also her imagination and come out this worshiping to today in this old temple, it's still practicing. So this finger is actually symbolizing as five finger, which is when people want to backstabbing on you. So people like do something really bad behind on you. Okay. And what is this white man? So this white man is actually symbolized as bad guy. So something like probably you have been offended. I'm not sure. Or simply people just jealous about you. That's why they like to talk about bad things to you or do something behind you. So this is symbolized of that man. So what am I going to do with this tree? Paper cutting, I'm going to lock it. So I'm going to change it. Okay, so this is actually like a lock chain. I know it look interesting, right? I mean, it doesn't look like a chain, but that is a symbol. So sometimes when you have this kind of spiritual experience, it doesn't like have to make everything all sense to you. So I think the bottom message is people create as an art, and because of that, and it makes us have peace. So I always say that spiritual promoting peace, because sometimes in life is so tough and then we are so stressful. So it will be nice that we can release our tension, or maybe something like somebody like really disturbing you, the bad karma is keep coming back to you. So by praying to this paper cutting and you do this lock chain, what you can do is you can actually throw and keep stepping. Okay, throw and keep using your legs stepping on it, and what you're going to do with this is throw it and burn it. So this is where the bad karma will be gone. And of course you're seeking for the good guidance to come along. So here we have the horse. So coming the horse and with the red man. So in Chinese temple, especially in Taoism, we like to associate red is happiness, prosperity, and bring us lots of luck. So with the good guy, the red man, and with the horse, this is where the good guidance, the good man will come along and protecting you. Okay. So I know sometimes it sounds like a little bit like silly, sorry to say that. Okay, but if you come to understand the actual meaning is actually we wanted to build the good karma, and we wanted to encourage that do not do something stupid, or actually hurting the people. But by doing this, you release your tension, and because of this you create the talents and you create the job opportunities. That's what we mean by because of that. And then people start looking into like doing symbol, making the paper cutting, and then you can, not just going to the temple, do the contribution, just a donation, but just to get your some peace of mind, and you can actually practice it this and no harm. Actually doesn't mean like against your religion. To me, it's more on like a psychology way, that in the psychology center, like you just sit for the psychology to get in peace your mind, to get rid of your stress. So by doing this is the same. Yeah. And then of course the pricing charge is very minimum. So this is why I like about everywhere I go or visit other country. I just love, to visit and to, experience some spiritual experiences. So not only that, building the peace, but also supporting the livelihood. So get the local people can carry on their culture, and also from there, it live in the sustainable way. Thank you for listening. So now next we're going to, okay, before we go to Philippines. So anything have I fascinate you or surprise you or make you like wonder? What is that?
For me, that's very interesting, Irina. Thank you for sharing about the Taoism, how people in the temple are finding opportunities to support the livelihood through the paper cut, right? So
Yes.
that's something that I also love because I love cutting papers.
Okay, good.
And it's very interesting when you said that aside from doing the spiritual aspect, the rituals, okay,
Yeah.
it's also supporting the livelihood. Can you explain more about that? How by using this paper cut art that's being given or being offered in the temples, how it's supporting the livelihood of the local people?
Yeah, because when you buy this is when you do the ceremony, even though okay, I'm not looking into the religion. Like for example, when every time I bring my friends or my visitors going to the temple, so I will explaining this and I will go through the ceremony together. So indirectly, I pay for all this paper cutting. So I made the local people to understand like how important, even though it's not because of the religion belief, but because of the experiences and the inside story, and we come and understood the symbolic, and it make us feel good, you know. And then with this contribution, and can you believe it? Like the whole process is cost you only about like $2 to $2.5 US dollars. So it's about like a 10 ringgit, or 12 ringgit. And because of the 10 ringgit or 12 ringgit that your contribution, you actually make the culture sustain. And also you make that a group of people have the opportunity to keep living on that. They have a job to do. So they have something to look forward. So rather than if I just ask you to do a donation, so sometimes you probably were thinking like, oh, all these donation, is it like true? Is it going where? So why not you support in real? You keep the culture alive. And then you still provide a good, I would not say like make them rich, but at least you make them able to find some food to eat. At least they depending on the scale, right? It's still depending on the culture. Huh? Okay.
I
So
like
I
that
hope
idea.
you answered the question.
So now I'm also curious. Don, in Vietnam, do you have a similar practice like this? What can you say about Irina's sharing?
Yeah. In Vietnam, do
Uh,
you have this?
yeah, it's so much. They sell the cutting paper in everywhere to like either
Mm,
say like either building and culture story about markets in the temple is
mm,
in is on the tomb of the citadel. It's so much.
mm,
Yeah, is I'm tourist guy, and in I spent many time to create my fan page like
mm,
Journey in like Journey in is had either 15,000 the follower. I remind and I describe it my many journey of my team to Huế and to Da Nang and Hội An in the province beside Huế to like tell the history and culture story to the
mm,
youth. Yeah, is photographer and big fan of history. I want to share in a history story. Yeah,
mm.
I think it had important roles in our life. But the youth they tend to in have many major in our life. I want to introduce Huế and like Middle Vietnam to the youth. Uh, but in my team have the six people. I'm tourist guide, and the last five people is the student in the tourism the college. Yeah, my team.
Cool.
Very cool. Look for other teams.
Journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will share this. I think maybe later on, we will share this and keep increasing your followers. Okay, so I think now it's the time that we move on to Philippines. Yeah. So
Okay.
Philippines, ever want to share something with us today based on the building peace, supporting the livelihoods, and also the opportunities are everywhere.
So I'm thankful that for our topic session is all about finding opportunities and specifically building peace and supporting livelihood. So as you know, in the Philippines, we're celebrating the 500 years European discovery of the Philippines. Okay, so this is happening this year, and with that 500 years is also the introduction. It comes with the introduction of Christianity. So we're
Mm.
also celebrating the 500 years of Roman Catholicism in the Philippines. Okay, and as you know, Philippines is the the only Catholic country in the world so far. Okay. So now most Filipinos, the majority of religion is all about Roman Catholicism. And because of this religion, just like what Rina is saying earlier, there are some practices, there are some culture and heritage that has been passed on generation from one generation to another. And this for this sharing, I'm going to focus more on the wood carving, okay, specifically in a town called Paete, Laguna. So let's play this video first so that you'll have a better understanding about this wood carving industry and how it is related to religion or spirituality in the Philippines. So that's it. So basically, that's Paete Laguna. That's south of Manila, and they are what we call the carving capital of the Philippines because the town has been practicing this craftsmanship. Okay, and most of the people there are highly skilled in wood carving, particularly in terms of idols or what we call the images that we use in churches. So, while some of the local establishments nowadays would focus more on the ceramics like this. I'm very happy to share that there's this town called Paete Laguna that would still focus on wood carvings, and the images that they carve are highly related to different images related to our religion. So there's Jesus Christ, Mama Mary. They would actually, carve all these images. Sometimes for the big images, you have only the face as the wood, and then the rest are ceramics. But there are some patrons who would really order for a wooden image of their patron. So one of the challenges that has been faced by Paete Laguna is that some of the younger generation are no longer continuing this wood craftsmanship. But even though they're not focusing on the wood carving, okay, most of the descendants of these artisans have found a niche in the culinary world. So instead of wood, they started to carve on ice and the buffet, like the food art. So I think there's still a growing number of artisans, and we are still nurturing this kind of industry. But at the end of the day, it boils down to how religion and how the items that we use in our spiritual practices are able to give inspiration to the local people, to the descendants of the artisans in having a livelihood. Okay? So For example, we Filipinos, the pre-colonial Filipinos, we have anito or the images. We basically praise the environment, okay? So we don't have all these wood carvings. But because of Roman Catholicism being introduced in the Philippines by the Spanish people, so they were able to introduce the different images that we use in churches. And this is how the people of Paete, Laguna was able to nurture this craftsmanship in their town. And actually, Paete, okay, the word Paete comes from the word chisel. So if you translate paete, it basically means chisel or the tool that they use in wood carving. Okay. So at the end of the day, you can really see different opportunities. Opportunities in terms of our religion and spirituality, opportunities for livelihood in incorporating it in our religion and spirituality, and how this livelihood is becoming part of the culture and heritage of that town. So basically, for many Filipinos, if we are going to order for our own saints images that we are going to donate in the church, or to have it in our own grotto or in our home, in our own houses, many would prefer to go to Paite Laguna and order it from there, order it from these people. Though some provinces would also have wood carver, but if you really want something that's the high level of craftsmanship, people would always go for the wood carvers in Paete, Laguna. So that's how people are looking at religion, spirituality, and linking it to their livelihood. And hopefully, this craftsmanship, the will be able to be as a tool to build peace and support the livelihood. I'd just like to highlight this, that when we talk about religion, it's not always about praising God. But one movement that I've seen in the churches in the Philippines is this: how the church leaders can open opportunities and address the reality that's being faced by the faithfuls. And that reality is poverty. So now they encourage members to focus on craftsmanship, to focus on production, so that they'll be able to grow their own businesses, to grow their own community through what they're doing. So bottom line, religion is not just praising God, but it's actually using what God blessed us in terms of talent and skills and natural resources in order for us to be able to build this peace and support local livelihood. So hopefully you learn something from this, and when you visit the Philippines, please make sure to visit also Paete Laguna as the carving capital. Thank you.
Thank you, April. Thank you for your great sharing. So I think from the sharing, I want to share something is the transformation also very important, because like the talent and all these, especially if we want to capture the younger generation today to come in into this special talent and skill. So I think in terms of the images wise, we have to like, kind of like a beautifying, and also make it interesting, such as like just now when I introduced you the Taoism temple, you have many deities, same as like a Hinduism. Because in Malaysia we are multi religions, multicultural. Although our largest population is Islam, so Islamic is our official religion, but we also have many believe in others, such as like Christianity, Taoism, and also the Hinduism. So this is like a little cue all those deities, so that it will make like the younger generation do not see this as like religion. But the moral story when we keep all these little tiny deity is we want to learn about their story, what are their contributions, so this is where the real education come into it. So when I sharing this is like I can see like in Philippines why some of the youngster, they have no choice, they have to leave the wood carving and go to the carving in eyes, because in the end of the day it's the popularity. And also you highlighted a very important, the religions is play a very significant role, because in the 16th, 17th, 18th century, who can afford, actually which organization and who are afforded to create such a huge group of the talents, is definitely come from the religion. Because I think those days you're talking about rich men, people want to do a wood carving decoration, is only come from like churches, even like masjid, in the mosque, in the Hinduism temple, we can find beautiful, nice wood carving as well. So I think religion play a very important role to create the opportunities everywhere.
Correct.
So,
And then if we will remember, right, most of us, the devotees, would
yes,
would contribute our time, our effort, our skills for the
yes,
church or for your organization. So that's something that really nurtures what we already have. So it's
mm.
more of like putting also good karma, like
Yeah, good
deposit.
karma. Yes, yes, yes. What about Don? You want to say something after you watch that video and the presentation from Apple? You have any comments?
I think it's yes. I feel it is impressed when you show is many in the civil and the top, like the way how to make it really excellent, and it's impressed me. Yeah.
Because I've been to the city that we just mentioned, Pate, right? And also I went to Hue actually. So both city I've been there. So I think the impression of me is when I was in Pate, a little bit sad is because of I talked to one of the master, and I did ask what is your challenges. He said that we it's so difficult to nurture a good skilled man, and ended up and all these skilled men they have to leave because they have to find a better livelihood, not just only stay in the city to make the sculpture. So some even been exported, okay, to Europe, and they make good money. So I
There's
my
this
message,
the
yeah,
brain
yeah,
aside from brain drain, it's actually the skills. Because after training them in the Philippines, they are offered greater opportunities, larger amount abroad. But
yeah,
also, aside from that, you will also see different opportunities in different sector. So maybe
yes,
that's how the local youth or the local people are also looking at opportunities, not only in religion, carving
yes, yes.
all the faces of
So in other words, it's like, you learn the carving skill, but importantly is you can actually applying into many others. Yeah, applying into many others. Yeah.
different
Okay.
sectors.
Yes, yes. Because when I was in Hue, I was like impressed, on the so many people who are wearing the what do you call, like you make a lot of incense, nice incense, yeah. Because you go to the temple, you have to pray incense, and then they actually make like multicolors, and then they make it like multi aroma smells, and it turns out to be like so nice, It's like everywhere, everybody go to Hue, you will buy a packet of incense to go home. Not because of you want to do for praying, but because you want to get the aroma. So for spiritually, sometimes you really create a lot of opportunities in many ways. Yeah. So I think now is the time that we should move on to Hue, to Vietnam, central of Vietnam. Let's listen to Tuan. So what are you going to share with us today?
Um, xin, xin chào mọi người. Hello everyone. Today, just tell about some history, and
Yeah.
in history we have the like the culture, story, and history background. But I choose the the dishes and the special food to show in the culture and our story. You see in the he, here is the Trinh K. It is so Vietnamese New Year. We tend to make and enjoy in the Trinh K, especially in the Lunar New Year. In the Trinh K, um, in Vietnam we have the glutinous is rice cake. But Chinke it have it important role in our the culture, especially Happy Lunar New Year. We use it to express the gratitude to our the ancestor and homeland. Here's bánh trứng. Either it here bánh trứng. Um, please next slide. Yeah. Um, there are a story of the Chinke, like the legend Chinke from the contest of the looking for the new emperor 3,000 years ago. Um, King Hung is the dynasty. He looked for the new emperor, and he operated the contact. Um, he has either many soon, but the soon create a special case like simple for the Vietnamese culture will be selected the next emperor. In the 19 the prince he created two cave, the round cave and square cave. The round cave is like the symbol for the sky, and square cave shape like the shape is the symbol for the earth. Um, and after that, either the 18th prince he was selected the next emperor because the 2K have the it's so either Vietnamese believe the earth and the sky in the past time. Up to now, we use and making the Chinke to like remind our story from the 3,000 years ago. And please next slide. Here we use the chinke to put on the altar and decorate the altar to express gratitude to the ancestor. Um, chinke, in the firstly the taste of the chin is really delicious and special. Secondly, the chinke when we make the chin, we seek like the family member we seek together and share our life story and like with like the best thing in the future. Um, and remind our story and to gratitude ancestor and pray the best thing to them. Here is the answer. The picture so is the answer in the Lunar New Year. It's many kind of the food and fruits like banana, the chinke, and the soup. But in here there are two K, the right and the left. Oh, yes. Please next slide. The main ingredient, is the green bean and pork meat, glutinous rice, and banana leaf the cover. Um, we we use the pork meat, green bean and glutinous rice. We select it so carefully, and we wrap it by banana leaf, and we boil in a 12 a half day, a 12 hour from the morning to the night and or night to the morning, a half day. I have the opportunity to went to the countryside. Is my white house, my white home, to make it with my mom, my father. We in this chain, we have many the generation in family to join because making chicken cake is the time consuming and require the join of the on the family members because it's, we spend a lot of time 1 or 2 days to prepare ingredient and material like leaf, the pork meat and beans, and cleaning, wash and cleaning and prepare it so carefully. And we spend uh, 3 or 4 hours to make it. Here is the picture. In city, we tend to in city, everyone's really busy, and it's a busy lifestyle that prevent everyone to making manching, and everyone tend to easily come to the markets and buy it from the crab village to enjoy. Um, Next slide, please. Yeah, in an opposite in the village, everyone tend to make by the family. In green bean, the pork, and glutinous rice, and we wrap by the banana leaf here. Here. Uh, we boil this cake in 12 or 15 hours. Um, we I and my father change position. We keep the fire by wood 2 or 3 hours and the and add the water. I think all over the world it's really difficult to find another cave to like require as many the time consuming here and finish enjoy. Yeah. Chinkei is um like the trứng like Chinkei is the evidence of the Vietnamese loyalty and Vietnamese the belief. Um, in Vietnam, we in the north, middle, and the south, we have many kind of the like story and many special dishes. Uh, each region have the different food, but I choose Chinkei because in our country they make trứng everywhere in the north, south, and middle in lunar India. Yeah.
Okay, great. So, Apple, when you see that, do you looks like something familiar to you? When you see that,
I became hungry when I saw that.
for me is like we have another description. Maybe we call it like a rice dumpling. Yeah, they call it because it's made by the glutinous rice, so it's a rice dumpling. So I think from here we learn something about like spiritual because you want to offering for your ancestor, right? For offering your ancestor. So we have some little bit similarity with Dong because like for my grandparents, great grandparents, we have been like also have altar because I'm a Chinese descendant, but today is of course Malaysian. So we still keep that practice actually. So we also offering like rice tumbling in the certain periods of time. Yeah. Then I can see like wow, it's like 10 to 12 hours all like the wooden is kind of like a challenging, yeah. So if I compare to buy in the market, because I'm sure like modernization, city life like us, we don't have this kind of material. Sometimes it's not easy to get banana leaf everywhere. And preparation, when you buy from the city, I think this is create a good opportunity for people wish to eat this cake. Is not because of just for the new year. I don't think so, right? Is it like in the normal day, can we eat that? Can we find that too? Can we find that too in the normal day?
Yeah, April.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm back.
Yeah. So one, in the normal day, can we find this cake also? Or I must wait for the new year, the lunar new year time, only I can get it. Do I get it in the normal day? Can I buy
Um,
from the market?
just the special day per month, like the 1 or the 15, the lunar days,
Lunar month.
and yeah,
Okay. Okay.
and
Sure, sure.
especially Lunar New Year. And
Ah,
we spend 1 or 2 day prepare and cook before the first and the 10th holiday.
okay.
Some
Okay. But in
several days
Malaysia,
before.
now, because the food is so good, and people just can't wait the festival, can't wait for the during the spiritual day, so people will eat it as every day. We will just keep buying. So we have people who actually household, especially the household, we will can actually help household generating, some income, because they are good, they are very good on it. And we don't know how to cook, we just pay. And then we can enjoy. Yeah. So I think Apple have a little bit disturbing from the internet. I think she will come back soon. Okay, she will come back soon. So I think thank you for your good sharing session. So in other words, from the spiritual, it doesn't mean like only you create talents like paper cutting or wood carving, but food is also a very important. So I'm sure that throughout the Southeast Asia, we have many, many interesting food that we serve in the different festival time. Also in other country in the Southeast Asia. So one thing about I think is amazing. Like when you visiting Southeast Asia, and you are not just visiting the scenery, you have the spiritual experiences, and from the spiritual experiences, you also can enjoy food. Right? So incoming is the lunar month of the August. So I'm sure in Vietnam you're going to have some celebration. Right now it's already in the lunar month of August, right? So like in Malaysia right now we are in moon cake. We eat the moon cake. Okay, it's a very
Yeah,
sweet type of cake. Yeah, we call it the moon cake.
really
So because
sweet. Yeah,
yeah, because of the lunar month of the August. Yeah, but now because of mooncake is such a nice flavor, and we don't eat it because of course, the lunar month of August. More people will consume it because of the festival. Yeah, and of course, today we don't believe that the moon up there we can actually pray or have a deity who stay in there after the American astronaut to find out there was nothing. There was nothing. But we still have this kind of legendary, we still believe in this legendary, for the spiritual purpose. Okay, during this festive, we want to eat the moon cake. And I think the great thing is now if we like for your this cake, actually if you take out the pot away, maybe you put like palm days, you put like some seafood, I don't know, create some new thing, but still the traditional way of wrapping with the banana, I think you can sell to the world. So any other religion, even vegetarian, they can eat it, even the Muslim, they can eat it if you don't cook with the pork. So I think it's perfectly all right because we love rice. We all love rice. Yeah. Welcome back, Apple. Apple, are you there? Okay. So now, never mind. We will come back to very soon. So I think in this whole session, when we talk about opportunities are everywhere, we also talking about in the sustainable development goals. It's not just only talking about the sustainable for the communities, but we are talking about also the decent works and also help out the economy. Because of all this festival, we will just touch on the SDG. I know Apple's got to say a lot about SDG. Okay, so with these opportunities are everywhere, so I just touch on the decent work. Definitely in the SDG for the S for the decent work, right? Economic growth and the decent work. Yay, number 8. SDG number 8. So great things about tourism is for the SDGs. Every topic we touch, every time we come in the discussion, we always have the relationship. Sustainable development goal. Yes, always with the associate to the sustainable development goal. So besides number 8, SDG 8, what are the SDG we have? So I can see that building peace, definitely for
Oh
the
yeah.
peace. Yes, definitely. So
And
do
then
not, yeah,
Don shared earlier,
yeah.
the, from the craft village to the market and him as a tourist guide, So I think there's also the partnership for the
Partnership
goal.
for the goals.
So
Yes,
different value
definitely.
chain, different stakeholders from the community are
Yeah, yeah. Just like when I visited the Taoism temple, so I explained to them like why I want to do this, and then make them understand because I want the culture able to sustain, and this is a great partnership. So we've been partnership like for more than 10 years. Okay, and I'm great that they're from just a local temple, and today they have inscribed as a national heritage also. So this is something like a great partnership, because of we bring the experiences, we let the audience, any people to experience it, and then we will keep the culture and we can keep the heritage, which is
that's
which is
something.
awesome.
Yes, that's something that I'd also who are not that familiar yet with what Irina is doing in Kuala Lumpur. When I visited Kuala Lumpur and stayed there in Malaysia for quite some time, that's something that I really love from what she's doing. She always partner with the local community. So I would say like the one with the temple, the Taoist temple, is all about sustainable cities and communities by
Communities, yes,
helping them, though it's a religion or spiritual practice, but you see the different value chain, the different stakeholders in
yes,
them.
yes,
That's
yeah. It's
number 7.
Yes, correct. It's definitely very important. And then I still want to stress on sometimes religions is always give people a kind of the impression that is so private, and sometimes they like to use the word sensitiveness. But I want to emphasize here is sometimes we go through the religion experience and the spiritual experience is I prefer the word spiritual. Seriously, prefer the word spiritual because for me is a strong culture you must have a spiritual. Okay, a strong culture you must have a spiritual, and that spiritual practices is so important because peace. Okay, peace, and all the religions are very important. Why? Because they are SDG number 16, right? SDG number 16. So can you please show out the SDG number 16? What does it show there? What does it written there?
No, it's here, but it's in my prop. So, ta-ding!
Ding! Is
Peace,
peace,
justice,
justice, and strong institution.
and
Yeah.
in peace, justice, and strong institution. The church is an institution. Your family is a small institution. So it's all
Yeah.
about building harmony. Now, when Irina is discussing about religion or spiritual, I'm wearing also this love spec because bottom line, regardless of your religion, be it Hinduism, Taoism,
Mm,
Islam, Catholicism,
yes.
every all our religion, the common bottom line is love. Love is
Yeah.
religion. All religions is promoting love. All religion is promoting harmony and
Yeah.
being one and at peace with our neighbors, right?
Yeah. Yes. Definitely. And I think the most important SDG, all this religion institution, what are they actually promoting is quality education, right? Quality education. That is the strong sustainable development goals. So remember, in those days, we don't get a proper education, right? Like we have a school system, education system. So where do we learn from? We learn from the teaching on Bible, Quran, or even through chanting, or even through some spiritual practices like festival. There always a good moral story behind, to educate us that as a human being, how we should be well-being. Okay, and I think importantly is respect the planet, which is our environment. That is what all about the quality education. Yeah.
That's all for
Okay.
our sustainable development goals. Just to reiterate this, when we
Mm. Okay. So I think the internet is getting distracted. So yeah,
okay,
Apple,
so through
quickly repeat.
partnership,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. So
Apple, quickly
basically, what
repeat.
I was saying,
Mhm.
when we talk about sustainable development goals, we focus on the first three P's, which is the people, the planet, or prosperity. And by able to have the partnerships, right? The fourth P. And what do we want to achieve in these four P's? We want to achieve peace. So by working together, Malaysia, Philippines, Vietnam, our ASEAN, our the associations, this is part of how we are promoting sustainable development goals.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you Don, in what you're doing in your community is also an act for SDG. So
Yes.
hashtag act for SDGs and acting for sustainable tourism development goals,
Yeah.
be it
Yeah.
through religion, through our prosperity, through our businesses, or through this little engagement. Okay,
Yeah.
so hopefully through our platform, such as Ask, a video, a platform that a content that we always put out every Thursday, you'll be able to engage with us. Let us know how
Yeah.
you're acting for sustainable development goals. What are the opportunities that is being open to you? How you can also collaborate with different individuals. So, like in this case, this is the first time that I've met Don. Okay,
Gone.
and
Yes. Gone.
so we're very happy that you're here with us, taking this purposeful sensory journey with Southeast
Yes, with the
Unlike
Southeast
that.
Asian heritage. Yeah, yeah. So, Don, you have any last message for everybody before we go say bye? You have any last message? Any message that you want to send it out?
um, I want to message to your younger, like love the culture and story, history story.
Okay.
Um,
So we, in short, we say learn the culture, live with the heritage, give hope to the local community. Yeah. So once again, thank you everyone. Thank you. So we will see you soon in the next episode. Okay, bye.